I've made this video before discussing how did some characters die. It never feels good to see your favorites dying. That's why in today's video it's time to discuss what if some characters in Harry Potter didn't die? What if they survived and lived? Starting first with Sirius Black. Although being wanted by the Ministry, Sirius arrived to rescue his godson when he realized he was in danger. Sirius' death at the hands of his cruel cousin Bellatrix was so sudden, it didn't seem real. One moment he was laughing at her and daring her to do better, the next he had disappeared behind a veil, and that was it, he'd gone. Harry's scream was muted, and he was held back by Lupin. It's a moment that beautifully reflected his own feelings. All Sirius had experienced was a miserable life. It was just unfair for Sirius to die. We had 3 books to get to know him, and it was definitely not enough. Now let's see what would happen again if Sirius Black survived. Bellatrix's curse missed him. Sirius didn't fall into the veil, and he survived. The Battle in the Ministry finished, and the Order of Phoenix won. Voldemort arrived and dueled Dumbledore. After some time, the Minister Cornelius Fudge came to the place and witnessed the presence of the Dark Lord. Sirius' name would be now cleared from all charges, and he's now once again a free man. Back in the 3rd book, Sirius asked Harry if he would want to come and stay with him once he's a free man again. This is what we could see. Harry would leave the Dursleys immediately and head to 12 Grimmauld Place. But it was until later that Dumbledore explained to Harry Lily's blood protection running through his aunt Petunia, keeping him safe as long as he's staying at 4 Privet Drive. This unfortunately was unknown to Sirius and Harry back then, so before they would try to take action, Dumbledore would stop them. In the book 6, Sirius would always be beside Harry, trying to listen to his problems and thoughts, like when Harry had doubt about Draco being up to something. Harry might have gotten some assistance from him regarding this. Sirius would definitely participate in the Battle of Astronomy Tower, fighting the Death Eaters. When Snape killed Dumbledore was revealed, Sirius would have felt so furious and wished he was there to kill Snape instead. Now in the book 7, almost everything would change. Harry would be now living with Sirius in 12 Grimmauld Place, so there is no need for transporting him from the Dursleys to the Weasleys, as 12 Grimmauld Place was the Order headquarters as well. This means there will be no Battle of 7 Potters, and this means a lot of things. Hedwig would be alive, Mad-Eye Moody wouldn't have been killed by Voldemort, and George wouldn't have lost his ear. One major thing would have happened. If Sirius was alive, this means 12 Grimmauld Place wouldn't have been broken into, and Mundungus Fletcher wouldn't have stolen the artifacts from the house, including Slytherin Locket, and he never handed it over to Umbridge. So Dumbledore and Harry journey to the cave was so useless, as the Locket Horcrux would be in the house along Regulus belongings. Sirius would help the trio in their Horcruxes hunt, giving them some tips and advices, although they wouldn't let him know about what they're searching for, neither letting him to join them as they told Remus, because that was a secret mission said by Dumbledore. The trio journey to the Ministry of Magic wouldn't have happened, as they already have the Horcrux, which would change a lot of bad things that happened in the process. And most importantly, Sirius would know about his brother's whole story, and finally he would accept him as one of the bravest. Sirius would definitely answer the call to fight in the Battle of Hogwarts alongside the Order of Phoenix. I can see him arriving on the back of Buckbeak and fighting with nothing to lose. Sirius would have a big impact on the battle. He might have saved some of his friends from certain death and would assist Harry until the last breath. His godson coming back to life would impress him a lot. He would join the second half of the battle with the group, and witnessing Harry's final defeat of Voldemort, thus ending the Second Wizarding War. Now moving to our second character, Dobby. Dobby's death is too terribly sad. Dobby was an innocent soul being murdered. He was a good heart and knew nothing but loyalty to those who treated him well. Dobby's death made Bellatrix's character even more evil, and some people did really hate her for doing that. I just wanted to see Dobby to go on and live. This is what we're trying to do. What if Dobby survived? Dobby being alive means Bellatrix didn't kill him, so we're gonna suppose the knife Bellatrix threw at them didn't hit the target. The trio, the others, and Dobby all arrived at Chill Cottage alive and unharmed. Dobby would probably stay in the cottage with Bill and Fleur for some time. The next mission of the trio was retrieving the Hufflepuff cuff from Bellatrix's vault from Gringotts, so I think Dobby would be so much helpful. He would definitely assist Harry in the mission, using the House Elf's power the wizard cannot possess, in order to give a hand in finding the Horcrux. Dobby after that would arrive at the Battle of Hogwarts. I can see him nowhere but beside the Hogwarts house elves led by Kreacher to fight Voldemort and his Death Eaters. While Kreacher is yelling, "Fight for my master Regulus," I can see Dobby on the other hand screaming, "Fight for Harry Potter and his friends." After the Battle of Hogwarts, I doubt that Dobby would work in the Hogwarts kitchens like Kreacher. Dobby would probably live with the Potters, but with honor, freedom, and loved by many. Now moving on to Fred Weasley. During the Battle of Hogwarts, it was almost too much to dare to look at the bodies of fallen characters, Fred Weasley in particular. His death is too much for words, his exciting young life cut short, the very notion of George without Fred, and the dreadful effects on his parents and siblings. Fred died with his last laugh still etched upon his face. Ron broke down as we saw Moody stroking his forehead, desperately needing to comfort him. It was all kinds of devastating all at once. Fred died as a result of an explosion, simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's why it's hard to talk about his death, even after all these years. But this time, we're gonna discuss what if Fred survived. So the only thing that must be changed is the explosion. Fred wasn't around or near enough. George's life would have been so different with Fred being alive. He would have been able to produce a Patronus now, since the happy memories didn't die with his twin. George, looking at the mirror of Erised, would see the twins' future plans and goals, rather than seeing his brother Fred alive. After the battle, the twin would sit down with the family, probably cracking some jokes and being happy about the victory. Fred and George would also continue on with their business. They would expand Weasley's Wizard Wheez's shop, as we all know that it was so successful. Fred finally would marry his school friend Angelina Johnson. She married George when Fred died, and their son was named Fred after his brother's death. But with Fred being alive, the two would get a beautiful marriage. The two did really fit each other, especially when they attended the Yellow Ball together. Fred is alive also would make it easy on Harry, as he was also so devastated and heartbroken, especially when every time he thinks about it, it comes with guilt that it was his own fault. Remus and Tonks. Remus had such a difficult life, and just when he found love and acceptance and became a father, he died. Clever, funny and brave, Tonks was loyal, capable, and she fought for the person she wanted to be with. It was the strength of her love for Remus that brought her to Hogwarts for the final battle and ultimately to her death. As we do for today, we're making this couple alive and see what if they survived. Remus died at the hand of Dolohov, and Tonks at the end of Bellatrix, so what if the couple survived the duel? Harry would feel a little less guilty. In the 40s, he got the stone, his parents Sirius and Remus showed up. These were the most important people to him who died. At the end of the battle, Remus and Tonks would come back to their baby son, and he going to be raised by his parents instead of his grandmother. However, Remus wouldn't be able to afford a living for his family in a world that still holds prejudice view against those that are not purebloods. But just to be clear, after the war, the prejudice laws were pretty much removed, and Kingsley Shacklebolt improved life for those in the wizarding world. Tonks would go back to her job as an author, and Remus would have an easier time finding a job. And they wouldn't be surprised if Professor McGonagall, who by then was the headmistress, would hire him to teach defense against the dark arts again. Lupin was one of the best professors that ever taught at Hogwarts. He would be teaching at the same school his son would be at, and the couple's salary would be more than enough to provide a living to the family, and especially to their only son, Teddy. So Remus' life would finally be happy again. And finally, Albus Dumbledore. Maybe you slammed the book shut or paused the film to just realize what really is going on, because there was absolutely no way anyone could handle Dumbledore dying. It was so hard to absorb the truth. Then never again would Dumbledore appear in the next chapters. Never again could he help Harry in his Horcruxes mission. Never again would he make the students feel completely safe at the safest place in the wizarding world, Hogwarts. So discussing the theory of what if Dumbledore survived is completely complex, but here he is. Dumbledore alive means Snape didn't kill him. Now back in the beginning of the movie, Bellatrix and Narcissa visited Snape at his home, so she swore Snape to an unbreakable vow, not only to protect Draco and help him complete the task, but also to have him finish the task himself if Draco failed. So we later know from Ron, if someone breaks the unbreakable vow, they die. So if Snape didn't kill Dumbledore, Snape will automatically get killed by the unbreakable vow. Snape is dead means everything changed in the story. Harry would never know about the 7th Horcrux himself. He wouldn't be able to find the Sword of Gryffindor to destroy Horcruxes without Snape. It's hard to mention everything, but without Snape, it's all gonna be different and difficult. Voldemort assigned Draco with the task of murdering Dumbledore. He expected Draco to fail so that he could get rid of him. So if Snape didn't kill Dumbledore, Draco would have been killed by Voldemort straight up. When Dumbledore found the Gaunt ring during his Horcruxes search, he put it on. This enacted the ring's deadly curse, and it began to quickly spread through his body. Snape managed to stop the curse in his right hand, but warned him that he had only a year to live. So even if Snape didn't kill him, Dumbledore would die anyway, maybe weeks later by his hand curse. I hope that was enough for today's video. If you want me to make more about other dead characters and what if they survived, please make sure to leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.